Okay, awesome. Hi, everybody. How are you all? I'm so excited to do our first ever Essential Circle community catch up. So it's not a business training at all. This is purely just for customers to support everybody on how to use their oils in different ways, perhaps ways that they've not thought about before, to learn a little bit about some oils that are available or perhaps new or perhaps up for grabs with a free promotion, things like that. So I'm really excited about this. I've put together a bit of a presentation so you don't have to look at my face the whole time. Isn't that even just exciting in itself? Yeah. So we're going to launch straight in. And if you've got any questions at any point, I am recording this, so I know that lots of people, they're maybe not able to make it live. So the recording will go up into our Essential Circle community group there, so anyone can watch the replay and or refresh on any diffuser blends or any blends that we talk about tonight. If you do have any questions at any stage, just use the chat box, or you can unmute and just say, hey, wait, stop, I've got a question about what you just said. And hopefully we'll get a chance at the end for a bit of a Q&A about anything related to what we've talked about tonight, or even just if you've got an oil that you're really not sure what it's doing there in your little box of oils and you want to go, I don't know what I'm doing with Roman chamomile, can you please help me? Because the last thing we want is for the oils to sit dusty on a shelf, because we know that they're amazing, but they don't work sitting dusty on a shelf. They don't work sitting in a drawer somewhere. We want to give you knowledge, and so you feel empowered using your oils and you know exactly what to reach for and when, and how each bottle can support you, okay? So with that in mind, I'm going to jump straight in. I'm going to share my screen. I won't be able to see the chat box, so maybe one of the girls who's on live, Stella, Kate, H, if you want to, if there's a question that pops up, just sing out so I don't miss that. But let me just go ahead and share this first off. And the card. So excited. Okay, super. Sweet. All right, so for our first Essential Circle community catch up, what I thought we might do is just go through the March offerings. So these are the free oils that we've got up for grabs, and free product of the month, and the 10% item as well. So we'll go through all of that in today's call, and hopefully, oh, why won't it, oh, failed. Why won't it let me go to the next screen? That's so annoying. Hold on. Thought I was, oh, hold on. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Oh, here we go. Look at me go. All right. No need to panic, Carla. It's all good. All right. So first up, we're going to chat about Rosemary. So Rosemary is, I might do that. Rosemary is our product of the month. For those of you who may not know, each month we have a product of the month that you can get for free. So that means that when you place a 125 point order with the loyalty rewards program and you process that order by the 15th of the month, you'll receive the product of the month for free. And this month it's Rosemary. So I don't know if anyone on the call here, just give me a little wave if you've got Rosemary already. Heather, I know she has Rosemary. So that's awesome. You've all got Rosemary. Keep waving at me if you know how to use it and you're just like, yeah, I use it all the time. I really know when to reach for it. Girls all do. That's awesome. So if you've got anything that you'd like to share, feel free to jump in, because it's not just about me sharing my knowledge. It's also about us learning from each other as well. So I absolutely don't know everything, and I don't think I could know everything about all the oils because there's just so many. So that's the beauty of coming together in our communities, that we can learn from each other. There might be a diffuser blend, or might be a different way to use the oil that perhaps you use it, but I have never thought to use it like that. So feel free to jump in with your own experiences as well. So we're going to focus on rosemary first up. So it's the product of the month. So it's a really, if you've got rosemary, feel free to reach for it and have a little smell. I think we're all probably quite familiar with rosemary because of the plant. It's often used with like Remembrance Day and things like that. So it is quite connected to memory and brain function and focus. It's such a beautiful, I love this. When I smell this, it reminds me just of walking down my parents' driveway, because their driveway, when I was growing up, it had rosemary, the bushes all along there, and I used to just grab it with my hands, and, you know, the smell would just come up. So that just takes me straight back to being a little kid and riding my bike down the driveway. It's such a beautiful one to use for studying. So we might just, and for flavouring. I love it on like just a drop or two with some olive oil, and then just cut up some, you know, potatoes, and then just toss it all together, a bit of sea salt, so delicious, and then just cook that up in the oven. It's just yummy. Or you can use it to marinate meats as well. So any kind of, you know, like roast lamb, and you can rub that over the lamb with some olive oil and put some garlic in there. Yum, yum, yum. All right, so I'm going to minimize that. So rosemary is the oil of knowledge and transition in the emotions and aromatherapy book. Its top uses in a physical sense is for respiratory conditions. So it's really, really great for coughs and colds. I like to make our own chest rubs, which we'll go on to in a moment. It can also be really useful for bedwetting. So if you've got a little one who you're trying to train out of nappies at night, this can be a really good one to dilute and just apply it to their like lower, like where their bladder would be, over their lower part of their tummy there. It's also amazing for your skin and for hair. So I tried to find this photo to share with you guys, but I couldn't find it. But there's an amazing photo that another doTERRA leader put a before and after photo of using rosemary. I think it was just rosemary. Might have been lavender as well, or maybe cedarwood. Rosemary with eyebrows. So she was a chronic overplucker of the eyebrows, and they were so thin. And then she just made up a little roller, and each morning and night she would just roll that over her eyebrows, and no joke, like it looked like she had her brows done. It was incredible. So it's really good if you do have, you know, if you've in the 80s, early 90s overplucked your eyebrows and you want the really big, perhaps not Angry Bird brows, but something in between, a happy medium there. That's really good. Also for hair loss. So some mamas after breastfeeding or with pregnancy and things like that can experience a bit of hair loss. So rubbing it into the scalp diluted, or even guys who also suffer with hair loss as well. Awesome. So memory and focus. It's a really great blend for study. I love it because it's calming, but it's also really awakening and just clearing. Like, to me, when I smell it, I just feel like everything becomes so much clearer. Like my breathing becomes clearer and just clears all the clutter in my head. It's also really great for extreme fatigue. So if you're really, really tired, there's also some blends with rosemary, cedarwood, ylang ylang, geranium, basil. If you suffer from extreme exhaustion, rosemary is really good for that, in combat by itself, but also especially when you couple it with like basil, peppermint, geranium, those kind of oils as well. It supports healthy liver and kidney function, really great for jet lag. So I do a fair bit of travel. And when I do, this really helps me if I'm going overseas, changing time zones, really helps me just when I'm feeling just that brain fog and that, you know what jet lag's like. And then the emotional qualities as well. So it shifts negative emotions from feeling confused, difficulty adjusting and transitioning to, and difficulties learning, and promotes positive properties of mental clarity, feeling knowledgeable, teachable, and open to new experiences. So it's a really awesome oil. Cool. Awesome. So here's just a little blend that that I love for dandruff. So if you are prone to like a dry, itchy scalp, you can use this lavender, rosemary, melaleuca, or tea tree, as we call it in Australia, and copaiba. Dilute it, or you can spray it with the. You can do like a hair mask. Sometimes I like to do that with some coconut oil and then just really massage it in with those oils. Or if you really want to just apply each day, if you're finding just to get that relief from that itchiness, or just to support daily with dandruff, you can make it up with the distilled water, as you see here in the picture. Now, I haven't put this in, but it's also really, really amazing for a nit preventer. So we have like, I don't even know where it is, but it's like a 30 ml. You can get these from the US, just a little spray bottle. And I've got lavender, tea tree, rosemary, and I think some terra arma in there as well, just as a nit preventer. So spray the kids' hair before they go to school, which is awesome. Stella, you said you love, I'm just going to unmute you. You said you love rosemary and use it a bit. So do you want to share a little bit about how you use it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I love rosemary. And it's funny because I wasn't like you, I loved the plant and grew up with the plant and used it in cooking and things like that. And when it came to the oil, the first time I opened the bottle, it was quite strong. I probably took too much of a deep breath in at the time, but now I can't get enough of it. I absolutely love it. I've got some pretty powerful stories with rosemary. My main one being I was at my parents' place one time and I had a bunch of my oils with me. This is, when I sort of first started really getting into the oils, and I didn't have my Modern Essentials book, which is, I don't know, can anyone see me, or are they just seeing the other screen at the moment?
Yeah.
Don't know if you can see it. So I've got the Modern Essentials handbook, which is the one that I sort of use a lot of the time. But I had a different one with me, which was this one. It's Aromatherapy Blends for Life. And I was doing a little bit of research, and I was at my parents' place and my big toe was quite sore. And it's because every so often I suffer from gout, which is like a crystallization of the uric acid in your body because it doesn't break down properly and it gets into your joints and it makes it really, really sore. And anyway, so I had a quick flick through my book and looked up gout because I figured that's pretty much what it was. And the 4 oils that it picked out were basil, fennel, juniper, pine, and rosemary. Well, I didn't have any of the other oils except for rosemary. So I thought, well, I'll give it a crack.
Yeah.
And I literally just dropped 1 drop of rosemary straight without dilution. Naughty, I know, but that's all I had with me at the time. So I just put 1 drop straight onto my big toe, rubbed it in, went to bed. And like gout, if you've never had it or you don't know what it is, literally every time you walk, you can feel it. Your joint is sore. Okay. And I woke up the next morning with no pain.
Wow. Like, and has that happened before? Like when you've
not that quickly. So I used to have to go to the GP and get quite a heavy medication, which you would take, and you start off by taking, a double dose for the first 2 days, and then every day after that you take a regular dose for a week to 2 weeks, depending on how long it lasts for. So to have just 1 drop of rosemary oil on my toe and have it disappear overnight,
wow,
was amazing. So like, I'm not I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying don't go to your GP if you're having, you know, health issues, but for me personally, that's what worked. And ever since then, I haven't been able to stop using it. And obviously I then went to research rosemary a bit more because I was really excited about it, and found out all of the stuff, like you were saying, about memory, and how it really works for your memory and recall especially.
Yeah.
So it's really good for studying and things like that. But it was actually one that I took to convention with me last year, because I love having, obviously lemon is really good for concentration as well. So I took a drop of lemon and a drop of rosemary. I just put it in the palm of my hands and took a few deep breaths in at the start of each day. And sometimes again after our lunch break when we were going back in, because they're quite long days. And there is just so much information to take in. It can be quite overwhelming, but I found that my recall was much better than what it normally would have been just by having access to those oils. So
cool.
Yeah, awesome.
I remember. Yeah, go.
Oh, I was going to say one other thing too. You were saying about how it's really good for hair. I've also got a really good recipe for like a beard oil for men too. So
I was going to say, you don't look like you've got a beard still.
Hang on. I'll get a little bit close. Well, anyway.
Yeah, it is a really herby oil, but it's such a refreshing oil as well. It's not like, to me, I don't just think of like lamb roast. Like when you couple it with other oils, and there's this blend that I really love. It's like my sexy time blend, but it's full of all like really beautiful, like very like aphrodisiac blend, like oils like Ylang Ylang, patchouli, sandalwood, and then randomly in there is rosemary. And when I first looked at this blend, I'm like, what? But it's rosemary that really makes it. It really brings that blend to life. I love it. All right, let's go on. Let's move on from here. Okay, so another way that you can use rosemary is for respiratory support. So I love it. It is in Easy Air, but I also love it just to give it an extra boost if you want to couple it with Easy Air. But here's a little diffuser blend if you do have a bit of a cough. You've got, you know, rosemary, peppermint, eucalyptus, and tea tree. And then for a chest rub, you can make up your own. Like I don't know if I've got one here with me, but doTERRA have like a vapor stick that you can use just from the Easy Air, or you can make up your own in a little jar with some just normal coconut oil. Just keep it in the fridge, and then just add your oils in there. Easy Air and eucalyptus, lime, and rosemary. Really, really great for breaking up any kind of wet kind of cough, or it's really good for that. So give that a go. All right, we're going to jump onto the freebies because this is what I'm really, really excited about. So this month is a really special month because in doTERRA, every now and then we have a 200-point promotion, which is exciting. So it comes around maybe 3 times a year. So it doesn't happen all the time. So a lot of people, when the 200 PV offers come out, they maybe stock up on some oils that they might need over the next 3 to 6 months, because they know that the freebies that they get for doing a 200-point order this month are incredible. So this month we've actually got 3 limited edition oils. So you've got red mandarin, kumquat, and Clementine, which for some reason I grabbed yellow mandarin, but we mean Clementine. So, and then you've also got the Rome diffuser. I don't have mine with me. It's at the post office. Oh, didn't get there down in time enough today. But I love the diffuser. I do have another, see if I can grab this one without. I do have another little car diffuser or little portable diffuser that doTERRA brought out another time. It just looks like that. And this has been in my car since I got it, and I absolutely love it. So I love diffusing oils. I love diffusing oils in the car. especially for like long car trips, if anyone gets car sickness, if you've got little kids, it's really great to diffuse some peppermint or some digestin or something that's really going to help ease settled tummies. But for our family, the main reason we use it is because sometimes the mornings are quite tricky. So sometimes my girls can get a little bit anxious before going to school. So I love having the diffuser going in the car, just with some really calming oils that help them feel really settled, grounded, and just ease them gently into the day. And I find that when we do that, they do really transition quite well to school, and there's no tears and no clinging on. So that I've been loving it for that. Does anyone else have a car diffuser? No, Kate doesn't. Stella doesn't. Heather's gone. So that's one of my things that I love most about that. And the other thing is they're not, because they plug into the USB, like in your car, but it's not just a car diffuser. So you could use this as, not this one, but the one that I'm talking about, similar size, I'm sure. You can use them just as a second diffuser if you've already got a petal diffuser or something like that. Add this and have it going in your bedroom, or it's a really beautiful size, nice and portable to take with you when you go traveling. So if you go away for a night, or go away for a long weekend or whatever, you can pack the diffuser with you, so you can have it in the car, but then you can take it out of the car as well and have it going for me, when I go into an Airbnb or a hotel room, there's just something really funky about the smell in there. I just really like to make it my own in a good way. I'm not talking about tooting out the back about the behind. I'm talking about make it my own with my essential oil blends. So I'm really, really excited to grab another car diffuser. We've got 2 cars, so now we'll be fully decked out, which is awesome. So let's chat a little bit about these special limited edition oils that you're going to get when you do a 200 PV order this month. So you got red mandarin. So red mandarin's really great for digestion and bloating and gas. We were talking about that just before. You can add this to water, to flavour water. You can add it to like a chia pudding. It's delicious in a chia pudding flavour, some coconut yogurt or normal yogurt. Really great for your skin. So if you are prone to acne or oily prone skin, add this to your moisturiser. It's also really good for calming kids that are just bouncing off the walls. So citrus oils are generally uplifting, but they're also incredibly calming as well. It's great for nervous tension, supports the liver, lymphatic system, really good for fear, fatigue, irritability. Now, let's talk about this. Surface cleaning. Red mandarin is antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, that's meant to say. So I know everyone's really concerned or really stressing the importance of hygiene. So having oils like this that are antiviral, because antibacterial wipes, we know the difference between bacterial and viral, yeah? So if you antibacterial bench wipes or antibacterial sprays get rid of bacteria. If you're concerned about a viral spread of illness, you want to be using antiviral oils or antiviral something. I've never been to the supermarket and seen an antiviral bench wipe, but it's good to know that you've got oils here that are antiviral. So clean surfaces, wash over door handles. In the emotional properties of it are quite awesome. So it helps with a childlike perspective. It shifts negative emotions and feeling overwhelmed, promotes positive emotions of joy in simple moments. So it's just really good to bring that lightness in. If you're feeling weighed down and everything's too serious, it just brings that, when you were a kid and nothing really would worry you. Okay, we move on to Kumquat. This one here. Now, these oils smell pretty similar from the bottle, but when you diffuse them, they are quite different. Kumquat, I think, is my favourite. It's a little bit more mellow than red mandarin. Red mandarin's quite citrusy and zingy. This one's really good for the winter blast. So when you're just like over winter and you're just feeling a little bit of those winter blues, diffuse kumquat. It's amazing. Also really good to couple with rosemary for brain fog and concentration. Also gets things moving in a digestive sense. So if you are a little slow, been a day or 2, 3, 4, you want to get that looked at, add some kumquat to your water. Just a couple of drops in your water and chug that down. Really great, again, for immune support. So antiviral and antibacterial. So if you're really wanting to support your immune system right now, kumquat is a really good one to cover both antiviral and antibacterial components. It's really great for sore throats, bronchial congestion, and flu-like symptoms. Are you following my drift? So for flu-like symptoms, you guys, to really support your immune system, get onto kumquat. You really need this right now. Let's move on to emotional qualities. Oil of authentic presence. It shifts negative emotions of superficial facade of cheerfulness. So people that hide behind that mask and are just all okay to your face, but then they go home and they're quite depressed or just down in the dumps. This really helps them to just be who they are, be honest, be aligned with who they are and not have to hide, which is awesome. I love that. Then we go on to Clementine. So Clementine is another one that you can add to drinks, add to food for flavouring. It's delicious, really zingy, citrusy, yum. It's also really great for cleaning and deodorizing as well. So a really good one to diffuse in the car. If you do have stinky socks, perhaps you're picking kids up from sports and just the car smells manky, or maybe you've got picked up pizza or fish and chips on a Friday night, get your car diffuser out, your Rome car diffuser that you'll get with the 200 PV promo, and diffuse Clementine to get rid of those kind of odours from the car or anywhere. It's another one that supports healthy immune system, respiratory system, really good to add to your shampoo. So this is a really good one to help cleanse. If you find that your hair's just got a lot of build up of product, or perhaps it just needs a really good clean, add a couple of drops of Clementine to your shampoo. And you can use it for your DIY cleaning as well. It uplifts the mind and the spirits. All right, so here's the Rome diffuser. The Rome diffuser is a really small diffuser, so you just plug it in USB, plug it into your car, plug it in by your computer. So a really good one to have if you're at a work desk, and it's nice and portable, so you can take it wherever with you. Does anyone want to share just what they love about diffusing oils? Kate, yeah, sure, go for it.
For me personally, I love using them when I get home, like from a really busy day. So I clean people's houses during the day. So when I get back, I just want to have like a nice grounding blend. So I usually put on those nice earthy ones.
Yeah.
And my husband, he loves reaching for rosemary. That's actually his favorite. We just get home, put on all the diffusers in the house, and we just literally light them morning, day and night, and I couldn't live without them. And when I have guests come over, they're always like, oh, what's that smell? I'm like, oh, it's my diffuser. They're like, oh, what's in it? And I actually keep the box close by, and then once they sniff the diffuser, 9 times out of 10, all my friends will go over to the box and open up all the bottles and just smell all the oil.
So good. And it's such a nice ritual to have in place. You know, I think it's really important that we do things like that to allow our brain just to adjust and switch off from a busy day at work. And that can be part of our routine, whether it's we're doing that with our kids and putting their diffusers on, you know, while we read them a story before they go to sleep. Do you know? The power of aroma. Heather, thanks for sharing, Kate. I really appreciate hearing your voice on this call too. H, are you able to share, because I know you have a beautiful way of explaining the science and you know, studying natural things.
Okay, what you want me to share about rosemary in particular, or just about
aroma, diffusing oils, and that process of the brain and how that happens?
Yeah. So what I love, the sense of smell is the only smell that bypasses everything and goes straight to the emotional center. So it bypasses the amygdala and everything in the brain. So it's literally, it hits our brain quicker than pain or fear, or it's quite amazing how quick the sense of smell can trigger something in our brain. As you would imagine, you know, or as you know, probably if you've ever had an operation and they put the little gas mask on you and say to you, count backwards from 10. So it's a really, really powerful way to get something into our system and to have our brain interact with our body and tell our body to do things. So I love, for me, whenever I do a class or whenever I'm talking to people, the quickest way to get an oil into our system and to have our body to react is to actually breathe it in. So obviously cupping your hand, you know, putting a drop in your palms and rubbing your hands together and cupping your nose and having a big couple of breaths is really quick, because some of the particles go straight to the brain then sends out messages. It's like when the hormones are traveling through our body and everything, the brain sends out messages and says, for example, if it's lavender or bergamot, it sends a message to the rest of our body saying, right, this is the perfect natural chemical. We need to slow down. We need to slow down the heart rate. We need to slow down the blood pressure, all of that sort of stuff. But some particles go into our lungs, which as does the oxygen, right, that we breathe in. And so the particles that go into our lungs get carried into our bloodstream via the oxygen, so like the oxygen does. So it travels really quickly into our bodies when we breathe it in that particular way. But also diffusing, we definitely still get the benefits, and it's a little bit more subtle, but we definitely still get all of the benefits of that. And what I love about diffusing is, oh, I just lost you, sorry, my phone keeps falling down, sorry. What I love about diffusing is you actually can control the room without anybody knowing, which is pretty cool. So you know, so you can have the focus blend, you can have, you know, lemon, peppermint, lavender on, or you can have whatever it is. What did you say? Kumquat's really good for keeping you awake, did you say, and just focused? So yeah, and rosemary, the same. I love rosemary. It's one of my favorite oils of all time. I absolutely love it. So it's a really good way to calm a room or to wake people up or whatever you need. To just put it on and no one actually knows what's going on except you, and you can watch the change happen, which I love that.
Yeah, and I love diffusing oils. Like, there's so many different purposes for diffusing oils, for like that emotional state, but also like you've got like immune support oils that are really good at just cleansing the air and getting rid of all the nasties that are in the air as well. So I know lots of teachers that are using diffusers in the classroom as a way of just trying to, you know, reduce the spread of germs that the kids cough and splutter and share all over each other.
So
go.
I was just going to say, with that, how that works is the oil, the little particles go into the air, and they actually attach themselves or pull the germ, the part of the germ that's in the air, the airborne bacteria or whatever, or viral thing or whatever, and it actually pulls it inside the molecule and the oil penetrates. It's really cool how it all works, the whole science of it. I'm not very good at explaining it, but it's pretty cool. They just attach to it, and the oil it's just like, you're gone, you're out of there. You know, it's pretty ace.
I didn't know that. I just knew it worked. I didn't know that there was a process of how it worked. I love that I learned things from you. So good.
Actually, if that's okay, that just triggered my memory. When we had the bushfires up here, up at Old Bar and Wallaby Point, we had smoke in the house for quite a long time. So when you said it clears the air, Heather, I thought, purify. Yeah. And we actually purified the house for several weeks. And when all of our neighbours came and they said, oh, our house absolutely reeks full of smoke, they came and they're like, why doesn't your house stink? And I said, actually, I've been purifying oils. And they were like, oh, and I said, here, take my diffuser home. I'd put oils in there for them, and they're like, oh my God, it's the only thing that's freshened up the air. That was a real eye-opener.
Wow, that's incredible. And good just to have that feedback that that's what you were doing, and they were coming into your house going like, what's the go?
Yeah, they were just like, oh, come clean my house or come clean the air. I'm like, gladly help.
Yeah, so you go, yeah, I'll clean your house for you to make it smell like mine. Then you just go there, put the diffuser on, then just sit on the couch for 2 hours and charge them. I love it. All right, let's move on to the next one, which is our 10% off item in March, which is the body scrub. Now, I don't know about you, but I love this. I just want to see who's used this one before. Stella has. H, you've not used this?
Oh. No, Casey loves it though. She raves about it.
I love it. It's so yum. It's so good. So every now and then, like I have like bath night, I call it. And it's just my time I normally have chocolate, a cuppa, I have the body scrub in there, and I normally drag the laptop into the bathroom and watch something on Netflix. Like it's a full thing. But the body scrub is a big part of that, especially this time of year after summer. Our skin can take a little bit of a beating with the sun, and it can be quite dry. So it's really important that we scrub our skin and get those top bits of the skin off, because they're all the dead parts. And you'll notice a really big difference when you actually do the body scrub and then put some yummy, even if it's just fractionated coconut oils and your favorite oils as a bit of an aromatic dressing. Your skin feels so soft afterwards. It's just divine. So I'm loving that at the end of summer, as we start autumn, that the body scrub is 10% off. So it's got lots of beautiful oils in there that help cleanse your skin, help warm the skin, and it's just got sugar cane in there. So that's the bit that really roughs up the skin and exfoliates as well. But it's also got some yummy oils like sunflower oil and sweet almond oil to help nourish and moisturize your skin as well. So it's just beautiful. So that's your 10% off item. So I just wanted to share with you a little bit about our rewards program. So who is part of our loyalty rewards program? Yes, everybody on the call. That's awesome. I don't know, I can't see Samantha, but I'll just assume that you are too.
Sorry, Carla, can I just quickly say something about the scrub?
Yes, go, Stella.
So can I just say, for those who haven't used it or are getting it this month with the 10% off, don't be disheartened and follow the instructions, because the first time I used it, I didn't follow it properly. And because it's got the sugar cane in there, I just kind of like rubbed it on really quickly like I would with a body wash. And then I was kind of standing in the shower going, I feel really horrible. And so I quickly tried to wash it all off. And I didn't love it. I was like, what's that about? Anyway, and then of course I did my research into it and found out that you're actually supposed to keep scrubbing until the sugar dissolves. just putting it out there. So don't do what I did. Since then, it's amazing.
Thanks. Oh, awesome.
Anyway, so continue.
The loyalty rewards program, or LRP. This is where you can get your products for free. You can earn credit points back as well. So if you aren't on the loyalty rewards program, if you're just doing standard orders, honestly, I don't know what you're doing. Seriously. So the loyalty rewards program isn't about buying extra things. It's really just about perhaps switching where you buy things from that you buy already. So if you go to the supermarket or the health food shop and in a month you buy at least one of these products, so shampoo, conditioner, cleaning concentrate, hand wash, soap, toothpaste, you know, laundry detergent. If you're buying at least one of those products from the supermarket in a month, then you are going to get the benefits of switching from the supermarket and getting those products through your doTERRA membership. So every time you get an order with a loyalty rewards order, you're earning credit points on your shipping. So that's eight credit points, which is already enough to buy a $10 toothpaste. So it's a really generous program. You can earn up to 30% back in credit points, depending on how long you've been ordering for. There's no minimum to buy. You just have to order one thing each month, one PV each month. You can cancel it at any time. You get to control each month. You can change it throughout the month as to when you get your order shipped. So there's so much flexibility. You're not locked into anything. And it's quite quickly you earn credit points to get free products back. And when you're doing orders like 125 this month, you'll get the free Rosemary. If you're doing a 200-point order with the Loyalty Rewards Club, you'll get the Rosemary, plus you'll also get the Rome diffuser and the 3 limited edition oils, Kumquat, Clementine and red Mandarin. So it's a really generous program. So here's some little snapshot ideas that you can use to grab your 200 PV, so you can get your free oils here. So these are some oils beyond the top 10. If you've only got the top 10 oils, these are some good ones that are really, really popular, but also on the cheaper side. So that's an option. Then you've got your Calm the Farm. So if you want to focus some things on relaxation, calming, if you experience a lot of stress at work or perhaps at home, anxiety, things like that, the Bedtime Bliss box with a few extra little things like Roman chamomile, juniper berry and wild orange is going to be really beautiful, and that's 200 points. So you'll get the oils for free. Most used and loved products beyond the top 10. So these oils and products, this is doTERRA's #1 selling product, the Lifelong Vitality Sups. You can add these to your cart and that will get you the freebies over here. And then do we have another one? No, that's it. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing now. So there we go. So there's some exciting things. So this month is awesome for all the freebies that are on offer. And just the oils that they've got. I love limited edition oils because, you know, I don't know when we'll be able to get these oils again. So it's really great. Obviously, hearing these 3, Clementine, Kumquat and red Mandarin, really great for supporting our immune system, which I know is a really high priority for people at the moment. So especially as we come into the cooler months, and especially with everything that's going on in the world right now, we want to make sure we're doing proactive healthcare. So making sure our immune system is ready and firing to go. I do have another little express class on this coming up in the next week or so. So stay tuned for that. Does anyone have any questions about anything or would like to add anything in before we wrap this up? No, you're all amazing. Kate, yeah.
There we are. I've just recently ordered the Ylang Ylang and I love it. I was just wondering, how else can I use that?
How are you using it at the minute?
At the moment, I put it in the diffuser of at night time, or I mix it with a little bit of oil or moisturizer and I just rub it along my chest.
Yep. Stella, Sam, Heather, do you want to pipe in with anything on ways that you use Ylang Ylang? H looks like she's trying to do something. There you go.
I literally just diffuse it. I find it very powerful, but it's very calming. It's a very calming oil. So if I'm making a calming blend, I'll put a couple of drops in it. But diffusing it, I'll put literally 1 drop in a blend if I'm, you know, like frankincense and lavender, or even a, you know, a focus blend as well. So if you're doing rosemary and lemon, 1 drop of Ylang Ylang is really nice as well. But I find it quite a strong oil, and yeah, so they're the ways I use it. I don't usually wear it. I actually have a girlfriend that wears it as perfume. Just literally has it in a bottle on its own with coconut oil and wears it as perfume. She finds it really, really calming. But yeah, I don't often wear it like that. I'll just put a couple of drops in any kind of a relaxation blend. So yeah, sorry, not much more than the norm with me with Ylang Ylang.
It's a really good one to balance your hormones out. So I've just grabbed my book. I have trouble remembering things late at night, but I've got this. This is like my Bible, the Essential Life book. So things that I use Ylang Ylang for hormone support, and like libido. So I'm sure you all wanted to know about that. But it's like a really great oil for just doing the do. No, I have a that I've made up that's got Ylang Ylang, patchouli, and pink pepper, and that's just a really, really sexy combo. The other blend that I mentioned earlier in this call, that's got sandalwood, Ylang Ylang, geranium, rosemary in there. It's a really beautiful one. I might post that in the group later on because, you know, you're all hot and sweaty for it. And it's also a really good one for adrenal fatigue. So if you're feeling extreme exhaustion, Ylang Ylang with basil, rosemary, peppermint. What are some other ones in there? They're your main ones. Really, really good one to support that extreme exhaustion. And in my book here, it also says really good for supporting healthy blood pressure levels. Really great for hair loss as well. So you could couple that with your rosemary for hair loss too. And oily skin. So you could apply it to your skin for oily skin too.
Cool.
Have a play. Have a look in your books. Have a look at your Droply app. Do you have the Droply app?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good place to go for that as well. Awesome. Thanks for popping in with your questions. Anyone else have anything they want to ask or add? No. Awesome. You're all amazing. Thank you so much for your sharing and just jumping on the call to empower yourselves. I will pop the recording up of this and share it into our group. So if you do know any friends of yours who are oily people as well and they're in our Essential Circle group, if they're not, just add them in, invite them into our customer group if they're members of our Essential Circle, and then you can tag them in there so they can catch it up on all the bits and bobs as well. But thanks so much for joining us, everybody. I'll see you next month for another one like this. See you guys.